I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay.
No. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Right.
Fucking thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
Anyone claiming that America's economy is in decline is peddling fiction.
I've abandoned free market principles to save the free market system.
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
Raising the debt ceilings does not increase our debt. It does not somehow promote profligacy.
I know words. I have the best words. Nobody knows the system better than me, which is why I alone can fix it.
Hello, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Peddling Fiction Podcast. I'm your host, the voice and soul of so-called fiction, Johnny Profita. And back with me, of course, to get this week started is Justin Hillbilly Boy Campbell. What's up, man?
Not much. We're getting some cooler weather this way. It's been getting down into like the 60s and even into the upper 50s at night. It's been kind of nice.
It's crazy. The summer is like over. It's almost September. Jesus Christ.
I know. This was objectively not a bad summer. Like, we didn't have the extreme heat that we've had, even a couple years ago. Like, I don't think we ever broke hundreds this year. We got up in the 90s, but nothing crazy. And even like working nights at night, it's been relatively cool. Like, where's all the climate change people freaking out and putting up the red maps on the weather forecasts and telling us how it's dangerously hot outside when it's 88 degrees.
Yeah. Well, I think Europe had a pretty hot summer though, right? I think I'm pretty sure they were talking about this past summer.
Yeah, but a hot summer for Europe is like April in Mexico, so it's like
yeah. I was talking to somebody who harvests mussels and clams in some little town south of Venice, and I guess the heat brought in some fucking crabs or something that ate all their clams, some blue crabs or something. So somebody lost most of their business because they had all their eggs in one basket, taking advantage of all these clams, and they got their clams fucking stolen from under them. It just goes to show you got to diversify. You got to do mussels and clams so that if all your clams get eaten, at least you got the mussels to hold you over.
Are blue crabs not edible? I don't know much about crustaceans and seafood.
They are edible. It sounded like the people that were harvesting the clams refused to buy the blue crabs out of spite because they didn't want to give the people that were harvesting the blue crabs any money because they ate all their crops or something. I don't know. Some inside clam baseball out of Italy. Could be totally wrong. I have no idea if this person knows what they were talking about.
We need to investigate the clam, mussel, crab market in Europe and
tie it to climate change.
This could be your next big venture for an investment opportunity. Like, strike out on some clam and mussels and like.
Dude, when times are good, man, those guys are printing money. Fucking
say, because if they had a bad year this year, then the way supply and demand works, that means supply is going to be down, so the demand's going to go up. We're going to have to see price increases. I mean, you could get in at just the right time to really hit it big on the clam and mussel market.
Yeah, overcharged, making money from all those overpriced linguine and clam dishes that people are paying for.
Well, might have to switch to eating more seafood with all the beef shortages and everything.
Yeah, so I thought this was a little insight into the cattle industry, which thought maybe you'd have some insight into as well. But this came across my feed the other day.
Let's preface this with the Trump announcement that got a lot of pushback, and like I get the pushback, but also when you read the post that we're going to follow this up with, you understand more. And I think it's also just people don't know what actually goes on in agriculture in general. So they don't realize this, but here's the Trump announcement. Today, I concluded a deal to substantially lower the price of ground beef for working American families. As everyone knows, under President Biden, beef prices soared at their fastest rate, and the American beef herd fell to its smallest size in modern history. As we work to rebuild this herd and help our ranchers for the next 90 days, the United States will allow up to 300,000 metric tons of product for ground beef to be imported with no out-of-quota tariff. We have a commitment that this beef will be sold at 25% below current market prices. This deal will reduce prices for Americans while giving space for our great American beef herd to grow again. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. Now, this got all the, oh my God, price controls. Oh my God, foreign beef. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It's like,
yeah, well, I have a couple questions about this.
So pissed off about how expensive beef is, and it's like, here's a solution to get the beef prices down. Oh my God, price controls. No, we can't do this. Like,
how are they selling it at below 25% market value? Is that just because they're removing the tariffs? They can afford to do that, or is the Trump administration like covering the losses that these farmers would be taking?
And see, I'm not sure about that part of it. I would assume it's going to be a combination of the import costs, and there's probably an agreement from the meat packers and processors to because they're trying to supplement the supply to get this out fast to cut the prices on it from the supplier's side of it, just to make sure that it's improved or increasing the supply out there and getting more affordable beef in people's hands.
So yeah, I mean, I love how he's like, yeah, we're gonna let this come in tariff free, which is again just once again he's admitted that it's the consumers that ultimately pay these tariffs. But yeah, we should be letting in all this foreign beef.
Well, and the reason
in general would be great.
Well, and the reason that we are experiencing a beef shortage the way we are is explained in this post. I'm a rancher. Biden ordered any rancher with a federal contract to slaughter their herd and turn over their crop. I do not have a contract, but many do. Our cattle need more time. From birth to market is a good 2 years, and we're already over a year and a half in. We need a few more months before we can slaughter. So what Trump did helps everyone and the demand. I had a Rumble channel with all ranchers yelling at you to pay attention to what Biden was doing, and no one was listening. We had the exact same thing happen with eggs and egg prices right before the 2024 election. We've had a very similar thing that's happened with chicken supply, where specifically it was happening under the Biden administration. They were going in and forcing farmers to kill off large portions of their flock, destroy a lot of their crop in this case, and then it was creating an artificial shortage that also is very hard to recover from. So, like, chickens chickens are a quicker turnaround time, but the sheer volume of layers, broilers, and eggs that were destroyed by the Biden administration in 2024, I mean, that supply is probably just now really starting to catch up. The beef supply, like, yeah, the ones who didn't have to cull half of their herd in the 2022, 2023, 2024, they have cows that are starting to come ready now, but that's a small percentage of what was there to begin with, and it's going to take another probably year to year and a half before you really see that crop level or the herd levels get back to where they had been and where they need to be. So you can't just like crank out a fucking cow in a week and a half. It takes years to get them to that point.
Yeah. Do you know why the Biden administration had them kill off half their herd? Was it because of like some disease thing, like it was with the chickens?
Yeah, they were using that, and it was bullshit that anybody in agriculture knows is complete bullshit. Like the things that they were killing the chickens off for, that's not problematic. It's not problematic for eggs. It's not problematic for the meat. It's very easy to contain within, like, if you have a good housing system, it's very easy to contain. You don't have, there's no reason to kill off half your flock or your entire flock just because of a little bird flu going around. It was the same for the beef cattle stuff. Like, it's easy to quarantine and isolate sick cows in the event that you have something like that happen. But they were making them dump milk. They were making them just butcher or slaughter entire herds, not allowing what was being slaughtered to go to processing. So it's just a complete waste. Like it's all bad business from the side of the government decides to overstep. What's the Benjamin Franklin quote about safety and freedom? It's like the government has decided that they are responsible for your individual safety, and because they're responsible for your individual safety, they have to control everything, which means they have to tell you what's safe and what's not. And so then we end up with shit like this, where people don't know what they're doing or what they're talking about, then are controlling a product that they have no business even looking at, much less making decisions about.
Yeah, it just seems like any rancher would know the best approach to solving that problem. And like the best approach for them personally solving the problem is also the best approach for everybody else. It's not just this clunky government edict from the fucking FDA or whatever. Oh, slaughter everything. Just slaughter everything. It's fine. Like they give a shit. They don't give a shit. It's not going to affect them.
That's like the farmers have a much more heavily vested interest in raising their animals right. Like, PETA and all these other retards get all up in arms about, oh, they're abusing these animals. No, they're not. They have a very, very high interest in not abusing them. Because as it turns out, animals that are well taken care of actually grow better. They actually produce a better quality meat. Like you don't want to have a poor quality of product that you're putting out. So the farmers have a vested interest in taking care of their animals, raising them right, doing what's right for them to make sure that when they do get to market, it's a good product. And then so they have a vested interest in the animals themselves. They also understand how to take care of them. They've been doing it. A lot of them, literally generations have been doing it. They're not trying to put out bad meat, right? Like they're not going to put out eggs that are going to make people sick or meat that are going to make people sick. That's like, what's the incentive for that? This isn't big pharma where you can just intentionally poison people for decades and face no repercussions. Like in the meat market, if you put out a bad product, you're going to have repercussions from that. And they can trace where the meat came from. They can trace all the way back to like your farm, where that cow or where that chicken or where that hog came from that contaminated the meat and made it, and made stuff bad. So it's not like you can just like, you're not just like dumping these things into a giant lot and you're gonna like dodge it. Like they know where they all come from. Most of them are tagged in some way.
Yeah, and it's always amazing to me that a lot of people they either don't understand that sort of incentive structure, or they don't give it enough weighting in the calculate. Like, oh well, plenty of farmers would rather just make a quick buck and worry about poisoning people. It's like no, they wouldn't, because they're sacrificing decades of income for one quick payday.
The only way farmers are interested in making a quick buck is if the government offers some like dumbass subsidy program where you can do nothing and get paid. Like, and people get all up in arms about, oh, how heavily the farmers are subsidized. It's like, okay, so what you're telling and what you're telling me is, if in whatever industry you're in, the government was just offering you free money, you would not take it. If that's the case, you're a bad business person and you should not be allowed to make decisions about anything ever. Like that's what farm subsidies are. It's the government being run by a bunch of dipshits who don't know how farming works. They're like, oh, if you do this, we'll give you money for it. And the farmers are like, well, we do that anyway and don't get paid for it. So why the fuck not?
Yeah. Well, and also just in general, like if you're in farming, you're not looking to make a quick buck. That's not how quick bucks are made. Like, I can tell you, there are much easier ways to make a fucking dollar than raising fucking cattle. It's a backbreaking work. It's time consuming. Dude, actually, can you drill down on that guy's post? Because I think he gets into some of the stuff that's like involved in raising cattle. Is that the same one that I'm thinking of?
That was a different post, and I don't know where that one was. I know what you're talking about. I had read it, but I didn't tag it. It wasn't this one though.
Damn it, that's weird. I thought it was, but yeah, he's like, yeah, this is like this is 365 days. Yeah, the cows aren't taking vacation time to take care of them. Yeah, he gets into the cost of feed and everything. Oh yeah, that was a different one. I wonder if I flagged that someplace else. But he was going into the economics of it and like how much it would cost per cow or whatever, and the price versus like the price of beef on the shelves. But yeah, I mean, dude, the price of beef is crazy expensive. It's crazy fucking expensive. The last time I was at Costco, it was like $23 a pound for like USDA choice.
Well, and that's another thing that kind of is nuts to me is I see people posting like how much stuff costs in different places, and like I don't know if we're just lucky that where we live we have like local producers and stuff. Like most of like the sausage and bacon and stuff like that I get is like local hog farmers. There's literally a hog farm 3/4 of a mile that way as the crow flies. Like it's like we've got chicken farms and turkey farms about 1.5 miles in this other direction over here. Like we've got all this stuff out here. There's also some cattle farms around here. We have people that just raise cattle and then sell the meat. We can get a lot of stuff for a lot cheaper than what most, like if you go to people that shop at Walmart. Yeah, I do not do any grocery shopping at all at Walmart. It's fucking insane. Like I can get all of my groceries way cheaper at our local grocery store than I can if I go to the Walmart in town. So like, yeah, if you're buying all of your groceries and everything from Walmart, you're probably having a pretty tough time. I mean, the only thing I can tell you is like get the fuck out of big cities, because I'm pretty sure the cities add taxes to some of that stuff that drives up the prices at Walmart and the other stores in town that we don't have out here in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, well, just the real estate alone for the store, the rent and everything.
Yeah.
Did you see Thomas Massey's post about about this Trump truth?
Yes, I don't disagree with him on the Prime Act. He's right on that, but he's really missing the mark on the, like, I get that he's mad because they haven't passed the Prime Act, but that doesn't mean that you don't supplement the supply to try to get prices down in the meantime while you try to rebuild your herds. Like, you don't, that's cutting off your nose to spite your face kind of a thing, as far as I'm concerned. Like, yes, he is right. The Prime Act would be a good thing. He says a lot of correct things, but to oppose what Trump is doing with this current plan is kind of ass backwards. Does that make sense?
What were the broad strokes of the Prime Act for those of us that don't follow that too closely?
It's controlling the supply to make sure that you have like country of origin, so you know where the meat is coming from, and it would incentivize and encourage more domestic production, more or less, which is right. That's a very good thing. And why that, along with the Save or the Save Act or whatever, the voting restriction or the voting restriction. Yes, the voting restriction. I want more voting restriction anyway. But the act to make sure that voting is secure. How neither of those have passed is an absolute miscarriage of what they were elected to do by the House and Senate Republicans. But outside of that, like, yes, Massey's right. Those should be getting passed, but to not do what, or to be opposed to what Trump's doing to supplement the current supply to try to get us in decent shape going forward is also not the right take either. So there's a lot of yes, but.
Yeah, dude, it's just all of this government intervention it just fucks things up. It's like U.S. domestic farmers would be able to compete with cheaper foreign beef or something if there wasn't all this government intervention on that side. And the price of foreign beef would be a lot cheaper if they weren't imposing all these ridiculous tariffs on things. Right. Just got to get them.
Cut out all the tariffs and cut out all the regulations, and then let's see who can make cheaper beef.
Right. And if it makes more sense for us to get our beef from fucking Argentina, then we'll get our beef from Argentina. I don't know. Like, the amount of extra cost involved in government intervention that is just fucking things up. Well, it's unbelievable.
Well, I'm talking about that. Like, remember when ethanol became a big thing back like in I think it was like around 2005 to 2008, that time frame, like might have started in 03, 04, but it really started to take off in like 05 going forward. And
yeah, the 10% ethanol in the gasoline or whatever.
And they were doing that to try to supplement the gas, the oil supply, and use that to bring down the cost of gasoline, except that the problem was the government was incentivizing using corn to make the ethanol. Corn-based ethanol is one of the least efficient forms of ethanol on the fucking planet. It also, without the government subsidies that they were adding to it, was way, way expensive to make. As once the subsidies ran out, I think it was on a 10 or 15-year plan, but once a lot of those subsidies started to run out, a lot of the ethanol plants just went out of business completely, because the only reason they were able to make money was because the government was paying them to make the ethanol. As soon as the government stopped paying them to make the ethanol, there were no profits in it, so they had to stop. Also, ethanol is not like something that has to be made from corn. It can be made from a lot of different stuff. And I actually wrote a paper about it in college, like the big subsidization of corn-based ethanol by the U.S. government was the most retarded thing in the world that they could have done for ethanol, because you could import sugarcane-based ethanol from South America cheaper than what the U.S. could produce corn-based ethanol right here. So you could import, and the sugarcane-based ethanol was a much higher quality product than what corn-based ethanol creates. So like you could have gotten a way better product for way cheaper and not cut the knees out of your corn supply domestically.
Right.
Like everything about import sugarcane based ethanol from South America, if you want to do this, made way more sense. But the government went for 15 fucking years subsidizing corn based ethanol. Like, get
the corn everybody's buying is more expensive. The ethanol's shittier and more expensive.
And
I'm sure there were some lobbyists
cattle
involved.
and chickens. And it's pushing feed costs for cattle, chickens, and pigs up. So now your grocery prices for all of your meat goes up. Like it affects everything just because they wanted to make corn-based ethanol instead of allowing the market to dictate, hey, like, don't fucking do this.
Yeah. And if you think the senators are sitting around and thinking about corn-based ethanol, you're wrong. Somebody gave them money to do that.
Right. I guarantee you, I did more research for my paper that I wrote in college than every single senator and representative in Washington did combined.
Yeah. So there's always some lobbyist at the base of this getting it kicked off. And dude, it's such a great example of how government intervention just completely fucks over everybody except for the lobbyists and whoever's involved in that portion of the industry. Man, dude, how frustrating is that? God damn it. Can they just like you look around at all the wonderful things free markets can deliver and to be like, no, we got to get retard politicians involved. It's just, I'll never understand that impulse or the art. Like just point to one like intervention that's actually worked out better than all of the other like side effects of it.
Right. Just show me one politician who's leading a committee on making a decision about something that knows more than a random ass podcaster. Like that's like these people are not smart. They're not the ones who should be making decisions about anything. Just because it's that appeal to authority fallacy or whatever. It's like just because they're in a position of power doesn't mean they know their ass from a hole in the ground.
Yeah. Oh, that's one of the benefits of having like completely retarded politicians now too. It's like they don't even look impressive.
Right. The more retarded and unimpressive they get, the less reason people have to take them seriously. Kind of like CNN. The more stupid they get, the less reason people have to take them seriously as they run an article trying to dunk on RFK's eating healthy.
I couldn't believe this. I could not fucking believe this.
I'm traveling across America, connecting with renowned chefs to show families how to cook delicious, nutritious meals.
Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s new reality show pushes healthy, affordable eating with sides of dubious claims about the food industry's science and public wellness.
The dietary guidelines put food groups at the top of the food pyramid.
But it's also the math that doesn't add up in this cooking class, especially when the secretary and his guest chef whip up crispy salmon cakes with apple, white beans, and green salad.
So the servings of each of these we asked under $5.
That's the pitch, and prices fly by, backing the idea of a family-sized meal for a bite-sized budget.
Fresh herbs are key for me.
I am on my way to the store. But when we started buying ingredients used in the show, even going for the lowest prices at a big competitive chain, the cost heated up fast.
25. This was the cheapest frozen wild-caught sockeye salmon we could find, the closest to what they are using. They priced theirs at $8.99. The cheapest we could find, even with the deal from the store, was more than $24. Now, the greens mix, that was about the same cost. So were the eggs on a per egg basis, but that's the trick here because they're only pricing that one egg out of the carton, and that gets more other things. For example,
imagine that.
They say they only spent 8 cents on this because that's how much they used.
Yeah, they only based it on a per egg. Like, you're not going to use the other 11 eggs in the carton. It's like, oh
yeah, no,
no,
you have to throw those. You throw those away.
yeah, I've wasted all this money on eggs because and he even admits the per egg cost is about right, but you have to buy the whole carton. You can they do sell half cartons. Like, you can get half a dozen eggs if you don't need a dozen eggs.
Here in Mexico, if you go to like the little bodegas and things, you can buy individual eggs too. I've done it. I've bought like 2 eggs before. But anyway, continue. Yeah. Fucking idiot.
Getting the whole onion cost us more than $1. And look at this. This is the avocado mayonnaise. They priced this at 40 cents because they were only using a couple of tablespoons. To buy the whole thing cost us more than $11. They're only pricing parts of it. And grocery stores don't sell things that way.
Because you're not going to use the rest of the. Also, why in the fuck are you spending $11 on some avocado mayonnaise? I'm pretty sure that same bottle at the grocery store here is about $4.
Yeah, dude, I cannot believe they ran that. Like, look how much effort they put into this whole segment. This guy's going to the store, he's buying groceries to try to prove like some gotcha thing. Like, oh no, it costs more. Yeah, the upfront cost of one meal is more, but how many times can you make that meal with the ingredients?
Right.
Oh my
HHS
God.
insists this is standard recipe costing methodology. And they want to help Americans stock up on high-quality ingredients they can use across many meals. In any event, the recipe was not too complicated.
Here we go into the heat.
And it came out at home pretty much like it looks online. But while the show repeatedly says this dish will cost less than $20 to feed a family of 4, just getting all those ingredients into our kitchen cost a whopping $70.54.
Yes, it certainly is tasty and it appears healthy, but the problem remains. I do not see, having made this, how you can walk into a grocery store with $20 and come out with everything you need for this, making that part of the claim for many consumers, I think, very hard to swallow.
Dude, look at what's her face nodding along. It's almost like she's hot, like she's trying to hide the laughter. Because this is such a ridiculous segment. They insist that this is standard. No, that is standard. That is the like every fucking recipe on the face of the earth that's ever been fucking calculated the cost of is based on like the proportion of ingredients that you're using. Every single time. I've never seen a recipe that's like the price is the whole carton of eggs, even though you're only using one of them. Why would you price it that way? Yeah, you have to. Every time you buy something, you have to buy the entire package of it. Okay. But then you get to use the rest of it. It's not like there's some retarded, at least not yet, there's some retarded government edict that says you have to throw away the avocado oil or whatever. Mayonnaise
olive oil,
after you use one too.
Olive oil, fresh herbs, eggs, breadcrumbs, mustard, red onion, nutritional yeast, avocado mayonnaise, vinaigrette ingredients. Like, those are the big things that are a difference in the price.
And they're like they're basically staple, like pantry staples.
Right. Like those are things that you're going to use for almost every meal that you're going to make after this. So like, yeah, those are
the
all
only
handy.
thing you can't, right. The only thing you'd have to buy again is the salmon. And that salmon fillet was pretty big. Like I could see how you get 4 portions out of that.
Oh yeah. Easily.
So, okay, even if it does cost, like his was $25, I don't know, like the other one was $6. Okay. So even at $25, it's still, you're talking about $4 or $5 per portion, like you're not going out to eat fish at a restaurant or something for $5 a fucking,
right.
Like,
right. And now you have all this, and now you have all the stuff you need to make that again. So you can go get,
go get the salmon again and then do it all over again. And
one, like we were talking about the like grocery costs earlier, like, I see people posting these insane grocery costs of like meat and stuff, like him with the salmon. I have a Butcher Box account. So once about every 6 weeks, I get a box of like meat and stuff, and I just went and compared like what do I spend on the meat that I get delivered from Butcher Box versus like what people are posting on their online stuff. It's like I'm paying a lot less for a Butcher Box meat delivery than what all of these idiots are paying at Walmart and stuff like that. Like, so
and it's delivered to your door. Like,
right. So like you could do that instead. It's crazy.
Yeah, and it's just imagine like somebody in like they have a meeting about it. Like this is what we need to go after. A sensible plan for you to eat healthy and save money. Let's prove them wrong on that. Who's sitting in that room being like, oh yeah, good idea. Oh yeah, make sure you talk about how you have to buy the whole carton of eggs and the whole bottle of mayonnaise and how that really doesn't track. Like you can't just go in with $20 and get the meal. Yeah, you gotta pay $70, but then you can eat for a week. Like, okay.
Crazy how that works.
Yeah, Jesus.
Well,
Christ,
this is like
CNN.
the affordability crisis thing that they're talking about. It's like people look at the upfront cost of buying groceries versus, well, I could just go to go get fast food or get Uber Eats or DoorDash or whatever. It's like, it's going to cost you more to go buy groceries once than it is to have DoorDash come once. But after you've DoorDashed your third meal, you've spent more on the DoorDash than you would have on the groceries, and you still have to continue eating. Whereas if you had bought the groceries, you could have gone for a whole week. Like,
correct. Like our RFKJ is like giving you sound financial and like healthy eating advice, and CNN is giving you the retarded instant gratification. Do it like, don't plan for the future, just live in the now kind of advice. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable that they ran. I mean, I guess it's not unbelievable because it's CNN, but it is just incredible to watch them churn out this crap and think that that's some sort of gotcha. Like I've never seen a recipe that priced it based on the full portion that you had to buy instead of the portion of what you're actually using.
Right. It's these are the same people that don't understand per capita, Johnny. So
yeah, that is true. God damn it. And they all get a vote.
That's right.
Their vote counts as much as yours does.
Let's speaking of they all get a vote, I think it's time. I think it's time for this week's
My real passion is my hobby.
Really? What's that?
I work with retards.
Isn't that a little politically incorrect?
Well, the hell with that. No one's gonna tell me who I can and can't work with, right?
No.
That's never gonna get old. Never gonna get old. All right, who do we got for a potential retard of the week here? I know it's early. It's only Tuesday.
Simply Shula says, to all the repeal the 19th morons, you're alienating the largest voting demographic, women, and handing the next election to the Democrats. Just stop. Yeah, but if we repeal the 19th, then it doesn't matter because y'all aren't going to vote. And, the funny thing is, a lot of females that I know are actually 100% on board with, women probably shouldn't be allowed to vote, especially after the last week of watching the Lindsay Clancy reactions.
Yeah, so wait, can you drill down on her thing? Because I think she put some more things in the comments that were like equally retarded. And I want to get into it a little bit.
She actually responds to one person. One person says, I agree, repeal the 19th is a stupid argument to make repeal universal suffrage altogether. 90% of people shouldn't be voting. And she says, no, the only people who should be voting are those who are contributing to society in a positive way. That's way more than 10%. You're wrong. It is absolutely not.
Doesn't she say something about how women are just going to vote for the people who aren't going to take their rights away? Something to that effect. I think I responded to it. Unless it's a different one. I had two of these retarded women.
I'm not seeing it.
I'll try to find it because I'm pretty sure I responded to it. Yeah. So she says current administration won't do it. I forget what. Oh, let me click on it. Who's she replying to? Yeah, so somebody says, hear me out. If we repeal the 19th, this won't be a problem. She says, the current administration won't do it. And if you guys keep on talking about it, women will always vote blue to make sure they don't lose their voting rights. So you're not achieving your goal anyway. You're just giving the Democrats power permanently. Okay. So to which I said, so they'll vote for the people they don't want in power just so that they can exercise their right to vote. Like, this is the type of logic that makes us want to repeal the 19th Amendment. It's like, so wait, the implication is that they weren't going to vote Democrat, but since Republicans are threatening to take away their right to vote, now they're going to vote Democrat. Now, first of all, the vast majority of them are already voting Democrat. And the other ones who weren't going to vote Democrat are now going to vote Democrat, even though they disagree with everything the Democrats want, just so that they can exercise their right to vote. Do you not see how retarded that is?
There are some interesting articles that have been written about women's need to feel heard and to feel included, as opposed to actually acting on intelligence and like rational, logical thought. So, like there's something genetically built into them to try to fit in, as opposed to actually do what's like to go with the flow instead of to do what's most logical and rational.
Yeah, well, so there's a couple. Well, I've heard some theories about it based on like historically, when if your city was invaded or something like that, and they murdered all the men, and now the women, their best survival tool is to just adapt to whatever the invaders want, and just whatever they think and agree with, I now agree with, and so they won't be killed. So there's some sort of survival instinct built in there. But there is definitely something, and I'm reminded of former girlfriends, where it's like it would drive them crazy when we were doing something that they wanted to be involved in it. Even if it's like watching football, like they need to be there just because like they can't stand you being involved in something that they're not involved with. It's like, and men have the opposite. It's like, yeah, go, you want to go do your stupid like party with, your girls party, whatever, go do that. I don't want to be involved. Like, well, no, you have to come with me.
Yeah, right. I was saying, then the problem with that is like most women will get mad because you don't want to come and do that with them. They're like, no, you need to come. If you're not coming, then I'll go do whatever you're going to do. It's like, no, go the fuck away. This is why.
Yeah, they got to horn in on everything. They got to get involved in football. They need female referees in football. Like they need to be involved in everything that men are involved in. I don't understand that instinct. I wouldn't want to be involved in anything except the WNBA.
Speaking of, the WNBA has decided that they're not going to let Royce White and Enes Kanter Freedom.
Yeah.
Enes Kanter Freedom and fellow former NBA player Royce White are not eligible to play in the WNBA after the pair declared themselves women and eligible for the draft, according to ESPN. And then here's Royce White commenting on this. Royce White, since they've started doing this, has been an absolute just treat. Like I am now following her on Facebook and Twitter. Like just
I beg your pardon. She has the language down just perfectly.
Oh yeah, has nailed it. So here's from here's the post. Former NBA players Enes Kanter Freedom Enes Kanter, Freedom, and Royce White will not be eligible to play in the WNBA after both declared themselves women and eligible for the draft. League sources told Front Office Sports the recent declarations of Freedom and White are simply publicity stunts, and the league is not going to give oxygen to efforts designed to mock the league or use this topic to demean and marginalize others, one league source said. The WNBA will not allow outside pressure or manufactured controversy to dictate league processes. If they can just say that Enes Kanter and Royce White are doing this as a publicity stunt, then we can say every single tranny is doing it as a publicity stunt. Like, what's the difference?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
And that's the whole point of this trolling, is
And
literally to get them to admit that.
And here's Royce White's.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Here's Royce White's response. He says, "Update: I have not received any official or unofficial communication from the WNBA regarding my eligibility. I will say, as a black trans lesbian, the rumors of denial for my multi-spirit existence are concerning. I'd also like to remind everyone there's a trans genocide taking place right now in America. These kind of casual comments lead to violence and our deaths. If the sources are true, I would like to see the league take immediate action to correct anybody who refuses to affirm my identity or use my pronouns pay me. The WNBA leadership has to show up and do the work to tell a black trans woman she is not a woman and that the trans experience is a stunt. It's transphobic, bigoted, and racist. It's literally Nazism and white supremacy. I think the commissioner may be demonstrating some white privilege, no?"
Yeah. Dude, just nailed it. Just absolutely nailed it. Like, throwing all this retarded jargon back in their face is so goddamn satisfying. And they have no response to it, other than they either adopt the position that most rational, normal people have been like, yeah, no, this is a delusions of a fucking crazy person, or this is a stunt. This is a publicity stunt.
Right. They're just doing this for attention. It's like, okay, like every other tranny. It's all just, they're just doing it for attention. Like, have you seen any of the teenagers that do this stuff? Like, it's
no, it just exploded by 10,000% in the last decade when they started getting all the attention and positive reinforcement around it. I'm sure it's just a coincidence. They're all born this way. And then you get the subset of people that are just like, oh, well, if they get surgery, get their dick and balls chopped off, then it's okay. Then they prove it's not just a stunt. It's like, is that going to be the standard?
Right. I mean, if that's the standard, cool. That hasn't been the standard up to this point. There isn't a standard that you have to take estrogen. There isn't a standard that you even have to. I got into it, or not got into it. I was having a back and forth with some retarded lesbian on Facebook, and she's like, "Well, they don't present as female." I'm like, what the fuck does present as female mean? Like, they have to dress in drag? Like, so what about lesbians that dress like men? Are you saying that they're less female because they don't present as female? Well, no, they're lesbians. It's like, okay, so what are these guys doing that's not qualifying?
Right. And then is the implication that the genitals define your gender? Because I thought that wasn't a thing.
Right.
It's just so good. Like, this whole fucking retarded thing, because they're trying to bend over backwards and do all this mental gymnastics to come up with, to justify their idiotic ideology. And around every turn you run into an issue. It's just absolutely hilarious and a contradiction. It's delicious. It's absolutely delicious. I didn't I don't know if, was that article behind a paywall, the ESPN one? They don't actually name any sources in it, right?
I have not seen any sources for this. I've seen this posted multiple different places, but I haven't actually seen any sources for it. It's always just a league source says. Like,
and do you have to be drafted, or can't you just
see? That's what I said. I was like, I don't see why either of them should have to enter the draft, because neither of them are current college athletes. They are both professionals. They both were drafted into the NBA. So they should be eligible as free agents right now. Like, they shouldn't even have to go through the draft process, because a player from Europe can come over and be picked up by a WNBA team without being drafted. You just have to be eligible to play in the league. So like, I said the Indiana Fever should sign both of them tomorrow, because the Fever lost their backup center of a month or so ago to a season-ending injury, so they need a center. Just sign Enes Kanter. Then that does away with all of the Sophie Cunningham controversy, because now you don't have, now Sophie is going to be teammates with, and probably going to be a very gracious and good teammate to Enes Kanter. So now you do away with all the Sophie Cunningham drama about her being transphobic or whatever. Now you also have allowed a trans athlete into the WNBA. So, everybody's happy. I mean, it's a total win all the way around. The problem is, I don't think there is a single owner in the WNBA that actually has the balls to do something like that, whether they're actual female or trans. Either way, that none of the owners have the balls to do it. In Major League Baseball and like in the NFL, there are some owners that they will sign somebody just to be a piece of shit and piss everybody else on the planet off. Like in the WNBA, you just don't have that, because it is woke activism masquerading as a professional sports league. Like it's not actually a sports league.
Somebody needs. So what about that guy that was going to buy a team? He needs to buy it through like a shell corporation or something. So they'll sell it to him.
Yeah, Clay Travis. They will. Remember when Mark Cuban was running the Dallas Mavericks like really well, and he kept trying to buy a Major League Baseball team, and basically the rest of the Major League Baseball owners kept boxing him out and not letting him buy a team, because they were worried the way he ran the Mavericks that he was going to do something like that in Major League Baseball, and it was going to like kind of upset the apple cart type of a thing of he was going to change the way things were being done, and then the other owners were going to have to either start to adjust the way they did things, or they didn't want Mark Cuban to run a baseball team the way he ran the Dallas Mavericks at that time. So they just kept him out. The WNBA will absolutely do the same thing. Like, even if Clay Travis could put up enough money to legitimately buy the Indiana Fever, not to do his own, Nashville team like he's jokingly talked about, but if he could put up enough money to buy the Indiana Fever, they would 100% make sure that he was never allowed to do that. Even if he was trying to pay over market value, they would never ever let him in. Like,
he needs to have a front man or a woman, somebody that's not connected to him in any way, just come out of nowhere and buy this team, and then he starts pulling the strings from behind the curtain. And like, all right, here's our new starting five, all freshly new minted lesbians, trans lesbians.
There's some chick that plays in like a French league, I think. It's like 6'5", 220. I mean, just straight up fucking yoked. She's built like me, basically, with long hair and no beard. Averages like 20 points and 20 rebounds a game in this like European league. It's like, yeah, let that dude come play in the WNBA. Like, this is already somebody that's established. You're in Europe as a woman playing in a female basketball league. Bring that dude over and let her play in the WNBA.
Can't claim that's a publicity stunt. They've been doing it for years. Yeah.
Right.
I don't understand what's taking them so long to do this, but we need to really start exploiting this retarded ideology to highlight how
did you see where Enes Kanter got kicked out of the Fever Sky game the other day? He had on a shirt that said woman and noun, adult, human, female. And just sitting there, like minding his own business, not doing anything. And one of the Chicago players just decided to like start screaming at him and cussing at him and going like, and so he just stood up and was like, what? And
yeah,
oh my gosh, like when he stands up and you can see the size difference between him and all of the other players on the court, and then his big, like,
dude, his
7-foot
wingspan.
It's like,
yeah, dude, he could. It almost looks like he can reach from like 3-point line to 3-point line along the baseline or something. It's like his wingspan is massive.
And, like, nobody would ever score or get a rebound other than like if. Like he would get all of the rebounds.
Like he doesn't have to jump. He would never, like, women can't really jump anyway. You ever watch them? Like, it looks like they're putting so much effort into it. They get like 3 inches off the ground. They have no fucking vertical whatsoever. And I really hope at least a portion of this comes to fruition. It would be so delicious.
The thing is, at this point, it's just making a mockery of, like, the WNBA is allowing this to make a mockery of it in a way that it didn't need to. All they had to do was come out and make a definitive, like, this is what we define, how we define a woman, and that's the end of it. It's like, sorry,
but they don't have the balls to do that.
Right, they can't do it, because if they did it, then that goes against all of their woke ideology that as a league they have been pushing for forever. And the thing is, they were able to do all of this stuff for 30 years because nobody gave a fuck. Nobody paid attention to the WNBA. And then Caitlin Clark comes into the league, and now they actually have fans and they actually have people paying attention. And so now the more people are paying attention, the more people are realizing, wow, this league is a fucking joke. And so it's like, it's putting a lot of pressure on the league, but it could all be easily solved if they just didn't behave like a bunch of retarded females. But then again, that's exactly what it is. So
it's a great microcosm of a portion of society. I'll say, like, about half the society at this point. And it's funny to watch them try to sidestep all these landmines, and they just can't do it. They've painted themselves into this corner, and they had a meeting, right? They got together to try to deal with the situation, and what they came up with was, well, let's just call it a publicity stunt and say no.
Yeah, more or less. And that's not even, I don't even know if that's official. So
yeah, we need to confirm this, because Inez has not heard anything.
Yeah, that's just anonymous
White hasn't
leaks.
heard anything.
Anonymous league sources have said that this is what they've said. They haven't actually.
I want to know who's on the record saying that trans people are just nothing but publicity stunts.
Yes, put your name on that.
Yes, I'm willing to do it. Will you stand up and join with me?
Well, I guess we should probably wrap up, and we'll go out on a low note today, unfortunately. Legendary singer Dolly Parton dead at 80. A family representative announced.
Wow, she was 80, huh?
Yeah. They I don't know if you saw, there was a family representative put out a video and said, she was really looking forward to, like, doing stuff. She had plans, and then she just abruptly passed away. So don't know.
There's no why cause of death or anything.
Not that I've seen.
Okay. Yeah, it's a little early for that, maybe, but well, that's too bad. 80 is a decent run, but that's still kind of young nowadays for women.
Well, I'm sure she did some hard living in her younger days. Might have cut a few years off of there.
Yeah, for like a famous musician, it's a really good run, I suppose.
And I mean, to be honest, would you rather live into your 90s or, die in your 70s or 80s and get more out of life when it actually counts? Like, I ain't trying to live forever. If I can get more enjoyment out of right now while I'm, young and can enjoy it, young as young.
Yeah, that's always like, that was the thing with that guy who has like the Netflix special or whatever. He's trying to live to like 130. And it's like, okay, dude, but like, what's your quality of life gonna be? Like? He's got to, he's got to go to bed at like 6:30 every night with like weird lighting, and then he's got to take 500 pills throughout the day, and he's got to do this. He got like his entire life is just dedicated to living longer. It's like, what's the point of living longer? If this is your life.
Fuck that shit. I like steak here and an occasional cigarette, and I want to enjoy life. I'm not trying to live forever. I'm trying to get the most out of what I do get.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's a balance that can be struck there, but everything in moderation. But yeah, you want to, like, I guess if you get enjoyment out of meticulously calculating everything that you do and everything you put in your body.
People are like, oh, if you do that, it'll take 5 years off your life. I'm like, my family averages living to like 92, so you're saying I'm gonna only make it to 87? Like, yeah. All right.
Well, that's the other thing. You could also just get hit by a bus.
I'll take that deal. Right.
It's just like, yeah, it's you gotta take all these things into account.
It's like the people that like quarantined and got every shot and booster and wore masks everywhere and lived in a fucking bubble and still got COVID. It's like, you can do all this shit and life is still going to punch you in the mouth. So just go enjoy life. Fuck it.
Right. And dude, it's just like COVID too. It just wasn't that scary of a thing, particularly after the first 2 weeks to flatten the curve. Like after those first 2 weeks and you started to see like what the actual numbers were in terms of that's like, yeah, everybody was over the age of like 70. It's like, okay. Yeah, this isn't even really, it's not like, like the Ebola virus is like a scare. Like nobody wants to get that where you just start bleeding out of every orifice and you die like a painful, quick death. It's like, okay, I could imagine quarantining over something like that. But it's like, this is like you get a fever and a sore throat for a few days. And then it turns out that like 99% of the time you're fine. Probably not worth uprooting society over that. But man, did they get into it? And there are still people, man. They're still masking. God bless them. And we didn't actually talk about it, but Fauci's right-hand man pleaded guilty.
Oh yeah. We had that on the docket for Friday, and then we got into some other stuff and didn't have time for it. Maybe we can get that. Maybe we can get to that this Friday. We'll talk about Fauci's right-hand man and the new ADHD epidemic amongst moms.
Yeah, I got to read that. I missed that article that you sent me. Yeah, everybody's got ADHD now.
And talking about
everybody's on the
talking
spectrum.
about women's desire to fit in no matter what now, because they keep taking their kids and getting their kids diagnosed with ADHD. Now all of these moms are getting diagnosed with ADHD too, because they can't be left out, right?
Yeah. Well, what we should do is we should offer additional funding for every household that has an ADHD child and see if all of a sudden more and more Somalian kids are diagnosed with ADHD.
Fuck it. If we're getting funding for having ADHD kids, I'm gonna adopt some kids and have them all diagnosed with ADHD.
Yeah. That's literally what they've done with autism. It's like you have two choices. Either the vaccines are causing autism or the amount of money you're giving people because their kid is on the spectrum is causing an increase in autism. Like you can pick your road there. All right. I guess you probably got to get to work, huh?
Nope, not tonight.
No?
But my wife, I did just see my wife pull up. So,
look out!
You got to get to work in different ways.
It doesn't feel like a Tuesday. It feels, I don't know. Maybe it's because I had a dinner thing last night. It feels like a Friday to me, but I'm all out of whack here. Every day's a Friday. Yeah, there's only 3 days here in Vallarta: yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Hell yeah!
All right, so we will be back on Friday to do this all over again, and I think. Is it a happy hour Friday too, or was that last Friday? I can't remember.
I actually have a thing up around Indy meeting Aaron McIntyre for a dinner. So I'll need to go a little early on Friday, and I will be out Friday night. But I think it is a happy hour week.
It is happy hour Friday. Yeah. All right. So what time are we doing on Friday?
If we can go about 1 o'clock, that'd be good because I need to get out of here around.
Okay.
I need to get out of here around 2:30.
All right, that's fine with me. So until then, you guys know what to do. Just keep on peddling that so-called fiction. Peace.